Well, instead of doing the countdown, which I totally forgot to get. Oh, hold on. Here we go. What is up, my awesome YouTubers? It is Justin or Ryan1988 back here with a brand new series called Scream Gay Horror, where it's everything horror movies and LGBTQ plus, all of that mixed into one stream. And it's also just about love and happiness, and again, watching some scary movies. So this is the first episode. And I am with one of my dear friends and actually somebody I went to high school with. And we became friends later on. And that is my buddy Todd. Todd, how are you?
I'm good, Justin. I am so excited to be talking about this because we were talking earlier and I just saw the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, so everything's very fresh.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. I'm so excited to talk about this with you. I want to also just thank you for being a part of the show. Because like I said, we went to high school together, but really connected like like 10 years later or something like that. Something like that.
Something like
And
that.
like you're a big horror movie fan, you're also a big movie fan. And I love chatting movies with you. And you again, you just in general, you become a great friend of mine. So it is a pleasure to have gotten to know you these past years. So
Yes, I feel the exact same way. It was really nice because, you and I did go to high school together, but you actually didn't come in until our senior year. And so by the time we were out of school and I had just came back to school because I had homeschooled my junior year, and we didn't really get to interact that much. And had I known that you were such a fan of movies like I was, I would have been coming to find you very soon after you transferred because you have some of the same opinions, the same knowledge, and just the overall love for movies like I do.
yes, and that's why we click. That's one of the reasons why we click. So it's just our love for movies and everything. But like I said, this is a stream that's going to be, centered obviously around horror movies, different topics. I'm not sure like how many we'll do a month, but we'll figure that out as we go along. I'm just so lucky to have you here doing this with me. And like I said, it's also, centered around LGBTQ plus and everything love and happiness and pride and all that. So, um, and I would like this to be like our own like Elvira show where we're like the horror
Yes.
movie hosts and we talk about flicks and movies and all of that. Hey Nathan, how are you? So, what is up? How are you doing tonight, Nathan? Nathan. So, thank you for stopping in. And
Hi, Nathan.
who's ever watching, thank you for watching this on the live, or if you're going back, um, and watching like the pre-record, thank you for that as well, or the after live show. So Todd, I want to talk. Oh, thank you, Nathan. So doing good, Justin. How are you all? Well, we're doing good. We are doing good. So, but I want to talk about like you and like in your introduction to horror movies. Like, so when did you first start, getting introduced to this genre of movies?
I actually remember specifically the first time that I ever saw my first horror movie. And it's really funny that we're doing this episode talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer, because I Know What You Did Last Summer would not be a thing had it not been for Scream. And Scream came out the year before, 1996. And I remember my sister, who was a teenager at the time, were 10 years apart. So I was, I think, 7 or 8, and that would have made her about 17, 18. And she rented Scream, and it was her and her boyfriend, and I was really little and, was the little punky little brother. And so, but she said, "You want to watch a scary movie with us?" And I didn't even know really what she meant by that. I just thought, oh, cool, I'll get to do something cool with the older kids. And so I sat in front of the bed and watched Scream for the first time. And that was my first horror film. And that's why I think to this day that franchise has meant so much to me. Probably, I mean, it is a great franchise, but it's just there's something so nostalgic about that first movie to me and just everything that followed after because it was such a revolutionary, monumental film to horror, especially back at that time, because horror films, had kind of went through a dry spell where they weren't putting out really anything new and exciting, and everybody was talking about Scream. And so once I watched Scream, then it became like a tradition. Every year, me and my sister would go to the theater and watch Scream 2. And then after that,
Ooh.
Scream 3. And we've actually gotten to get back together with these new films. And she's not
Mhm.
even a fan of scary movies, but she does like Scream. And I Know What You Did Last Summer. So it's kind of been a bonding experience for us over the years.
Yay, that's so awesome. That is awesome. I remember watching Scream for the first time. I lived in Oregon and we rented it on VHS at this local mom and pop store. And I think we watched that VHS tape like 3 times before we returned it. Like for us, we were hooked on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um It was one of the first horror movies I remember watching. Like, the first one I remember, obviously, is A Nightmare on Elm Street, and it scared the crap out of me. Like, I was 5 sitting behind a couch, terrified, and I couldn't move. Like, I was like I felt like I was just froze right there, and it was Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2, and then, it would go on to be Halloween and Halloween 2, but Scream was one of the first ones that I just fell in love with right away. Um, and then I followed, like you, the series since they've come out. And Scream 2, sometimes it goes back and forth. If it's my favorite one of the franchise, but I absolutely love that franchise. So, and I'm excited for Scream 7. Cannot wait. So,
Oh, I think that I Know What You Did Last Summer movie is kind of holding me over till Scream 7.
I agree with that. And I love that we're getting these reboots. Like these are movies that you grew up with. These are movies that I grew up with. We'll talk about I Know We Did Last Summer in a minute, the original. But yeah, I mean that was that era of horror movies for us is the Screams and the I Know We Did Last Summers. And like you mentioned before, um, you know, there was a dry spell with the horror movie genre before Scream. There wasn't a lot of love there. And, you had classic movies like Candyman and some others to name.
Yeah,
But when it came to like the slasher movie subgenre, there really wasn't a lot out there um, before Scream. And if there was, they weren't, doing well. They weren't the big hits. And then Scream came out and just built this fan base. And then we had that era, that late 90s, early 2000s era of just some great teen slasher movies. And, those posters where you had like all the faces on them and everything. So
yeah,
really cool stuff. Like, I mean, very nostalgic for both of us, but what an awesome time to be a horror movie fan in the
I know.
90s for sure. So, and I love your Cruel Intentions t-shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I backed the camera up a little bit just so you could see it. I unfortunately did not have I Know What You Did Last Summer, but
I didn't either.
because it does have two of the cast members for Cruel
Yeah,
Intentions, I thought why not?
there we go. And I'm wearing House of 1,000 Corpses, so that's has nothing to do with any of these slasher movies that none of these movies that we're gonna talk about, but it is one of my favorite horror movies. So I do love that. It's a perfect one to watch around Halloween for me. Um, But yeah, so would you say what is your favorite horror movie though? Like what's your all-time? Is it Scream?
It is Scream. You probably, because following me on social media, you probably see how much I talk about it, how much I like to review those movies, as well as I actually, 2 years ago at a Comic Con in Atlanta, Georgia, I got to actually meet Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard, which was amazing.
Awesome. I love that. That is so, so awesome. And
Matthew
now
Lillard is so great.
I did not meet him personally, but I had friends that met him, and I was standing next to him when they were talking to him, and he just loves the fans. Like, he is just there and, like, has that
Yes.
energy. Super friendly guy, super, super friendly. By the way, hello everybody who is popping in. Please leave your comments in the comment section. Let's talk. Again, welcome to Scream Gay Horror, um, a series about horror movies with LGBTQ plus in there as well. So, but anyway, what we are here to talk about is, oh, and by the way, if you don't know, my favorite horror movie is Halloween from 1978. So,
Can't go
anybody else?
wrong with that.
I know. I don't think people will be surprised. Like, if they've watched my channel for the longest time, they'd probably be like, "We know that, Justin." But if you don't know, Halloween is like that one that made me fall in love with the genre. It made me fall in love with filmmaking and directing, and I just love the behind the scenes of that movie. And without Halloween and Black Christmas and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all those movies from that time period, we would not have films like Scream and I Know We Did Last Summer
Yep.
and so many other movies. So, but we are here to talk about I Know We Did Last Summer. I reached out to Todd and I was like, hey, do you want to be a part of this streaming series that I'm going to do? And would you want to do I Know We Did Last Summer? And you were down for it. And I'm so happy with that because we're both fans of not only this movie, but also the franchise. So
Yes.
um, let's talk about, I kind of told you like, well, let's talk about the new movie first. And then I will let everybody know kind of like the last 10 minutes of this stream, we will do, spoilers. But if you have not seen the movie, I will let you know, and then you can, kind of leave the chat at that point. But if you have seen it, definitely, keep watching. So, but let's talk about this movie. So your reaction to the film, what did you think about it? And yeah, so just overall reaction right now.
Well, I came back from seeing it for my third time today, so I definitely liked it. I think that maybe the nostalgia of it all is what really kept me going back because the interesting thing is that before this new one came out, I don't know if you're like this, but before now that they've kind of gotten into this legacy sequel thing where you're
Mhm.
getting like Twisters, Gladiator 2, Top Gun Maverick, you're getting all these legacy sequels to these great movies. And for me, I Know What You Did Last Summer was another favorite of mine as a kid, and I hadn't seen it in quite some time. And 2 weeks before the new one came out, I went back and I think I watched the original one like 4 times again, just to prepare because I had forgotten how much fun and just how much, it was never a critic's favorite like the way Scream was, but it was an old school, just slasher movie. And with Kevin Williamson's brilliant writing, I mean, it was hard to go wrong. And so I went into this new one with crazy high expectations, but I also realized that it is still a slasher film. It is not going to be Oscar worthy. You just kind of have to go in expecting what is going to be delivered, and it delivered because,
Yeah.
yeah.
What were we gonna say? I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just going to say that it did a good job of setting up for me. It did a good job of setting up the new characters early on.
Mhm.
And then once they were established, then we got to see our old friends. And I thought that they blended so well in with the new cast. And it's hard to talk about this right now without giving away spoilers, but I really like what they did with Julie and Ray.
I did too. I absolutely did. And like I said, I will let you all know when we get to spoilers. It's going to be the last 10 minutes of the stream. So, but first, Tony from Basement Blues says hello. Hi, Tony. How are you?
Hi,
And
Tony.
then AJ Roberts, how are you? So, thank you for stopping in and everybody watching once again. Thank you for that. Um, But yeah, so I have the same reaction. So I absolutely love this movie. I walked in knowing, well, I walked in, I didn't want to hype myself up too much because I was like, I learned my lesson in the past with certain movies. Um, And I was like, I know I'm gonna like it at least. Like, I know I'm gonna enjoy this movie. Like, this is one of my favorite horror movie franchises. And like you, I watched the previous movies. I think I watched I know we did last summer and the second movie at least 2 or 3 times
Hmm.
before this new movie was coming out. Because whenever there's a movie and a franchise coming out, I'm sure you're the same way. Like, you want to go back and you want to watch all of them to not only hype yourself up, but definitely like get a recap of things from the past. And so I watched those several times before this movie came out. And I walked out of the theater with a big smile on my face. I love this movie so much. And for me, it brought me back to that era of slasher movies where, it's suspenseful and there's tension there, but also it's just super fun. And you just I was entertained the whole time. I laughed at the humor that was there that worked in the movie.
Hmm.
I think that's one of like some of people's complaints with this movie is the humor. And I was talking to somebody and I said, if they go back and they watch like Scream, for example, while it is a scary movie and there is tension there, you do have that humor in that movie, like the dialogue with the friends
Oh
of
yeah.
I think about the scene in Scream where they're all sitting by the fountain, the water fountain. And they're, just having this like conversation with each other about Casey Becker and Steve and how they died and all these, conversations that were going on and these lines that were coming out of some of the characters' mouths. And, so the humor worked for me in this movie because it took me back to that time period where you had the scares and you had the tension, but you also had fun. And I'm happy this movie
Absolutely.
did that. And it wasn't humor that they just threw in there and it didn't work. It actually did work in this movie. I've seen horror movies where I will watch a scene or they'll say some type of dialogue and the humor is just bizarre. Like, it just doesn't work for a movie.
It doesn't fit in the dialogue or the context.
Exactly. Exactly. And or they'll throw in these like terrible one-liners. And this for me, between the conversations that the characters were having, like it felt natural. The comedy felt natural and organic. And um I
And Jennifer
absolutely
Love Hewitt got to scream.
and she did. She got to scream in this. So but yeah, I adored this movie. Yeah, absolutely. For me, this is everything that I wanted it to be and more. And, you know, scenes in this movie I wasn't expecting and surprises and twists. And yeah,
Loved it.
I love it. I love it so much. So let's get caught up with the comments right now. Zach, hello, how are you? He said, I know we did last summer was awesome. Like, I agree. Thank you so much. We
Yes.
all thought it was awesome too.
We loved it,
Um,
Zach.
we loved it. And then Tony says, I really enjoyed it. And I also visited the first two films the day before seeing this, and it really enhanced my experience.
Oh
And I
yeah.
agree.
Hmm.
I agree. I mean,
Absolutely. Because I saw. Oh, you go ahead.
oh no, you go first. You go first.
I was just going to say that I also did watch I Still Know. I think that because I love the original one the most, I did watch that one the most when I was going back and rewatching them. But I did watch I Still Know. And I got to say, for all the hate that a lot of people or fans give that movie, like it has a fun quality to it that is unmatched with other horror sequels.
I still know you did last summer. I've always loved
Absolutely.
that movie. I've always loved that movie.
It's so fun.
It really is. It's a fun movie. And of course, I want to talk about more of that soon, but I love that movie. I've always loved that sequel and I never got the hate for it. Like, for me, that's one of my favorite horror movie sequels. So,
Hmm.
um, and then AJ says, I haven't seen the new one, but I'm a huge fan of the original. I think you'll enjoy this, AJ. And for me, and for Todd and people in the comments that I've read, it did not disappoint. So I hope you enjoy this one. So, And Zach says, and Tony said, "You should enjoy it, AJ." And then Zach says, "I did not see the ending coming," and I didn't either.
I did not either.
And for me, and we'll talk about it when we get to the spoilers at the last 10 minutes of this stream, but I think the twist works, and I'll tell you why when we get to it. So,
Yes.
But yeah, so let's talk about the biggest thing for me in any slasher movie that works is characters that you have in a slasher movie. And in my opinion, there was until you got the reveal of the killer or killers, all these kids were likable. Like, I felt like these kids were likable, they were fun, and you didn't want them to get hurt.
Yes.
Kind of like in the original movie. I enjoyed them. Like, I had a blast watching these actors and the characters that they played. And yeah, I adored them. Some of my
Danica was my
favorites.
favorite.
You what?
Danica was my favorite.
She was my favorite too. Danica was my favorite. Isn't she's from Outer Banks, right? Madeline Klein or something like that.
Yeah, and the friend of mine that went with me to the movies today said that she was also in Glass Onion, the sequel to Knives Out.
I have to go back and watch that. Like,
I said the same thing. I could not remember. I couldn't remember her being in that though.
I can't either. I'm trying to think. Was she like the girlfriend of Dave Bautista? Like, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
We have to revisit that one.
Oh, for sure. I love those movies. I cannot wait for the third one.
I didn't know there was going to be a third one.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah,
I had no idea.
I think it comes out at the end of the year, so that'll be a nice treat for
oh yes,
November, December. But Danica was my favorite. I loved her. She just brought some good humor. Again, like, dialogue that, it's just campy fun, and it's supposed to be campy fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved her. I loved our main character. What was her name? Not Danica. Who was the other lead?
The dark-headed girl.
Yes, I'm looking it up right now.
I know. I forgot her name too. I know
bad
Milo was her boyfriend.
Oh yes, Milo was her. Not Stevie. Who is she? Where is she at? Okay, I'm gonna look this up. I will find this.
She was such a great actress. I really thought that she gave off to me a little bit of the Jennifer Love Hewitt vibe from when she was younger, and I thought that they matched really well together.
I thought they did too. Like, yes, I completely agree, and they just. Their chemistry was great on screen, and like you said, they just mashed well together in this. I loved our guys in this. I thought they were great.
They were pretty hot too.
They were hot. Like, they were gorgeous
Teddy.
guys. Teddy was adorable. Like, I loved Teddy in this movie. Like, he was so adorable in this.
And they tried so hard. Sorry, they tried so hard to make him like that Ryan Felipe character. But so here's the difference. I will say really quick. In the original one, Ryan Felipe is just a good enough of an actor that he somehow managed to make Barry somewhat likable by the end, because he was kind of trying to protect Helen and all that stuff, and he kind of redeemed himself a bit, but man, was he an asshole through most of that movie.
Oh my gosh. Yes, he was. Like, he was the bad boy that you should not like in a movie.
I know.
Just and something about what were you saying?
Sorry, it felt like that Teddy, they were trying to kind of push him in that direction too, because he was the one that out of all of them. And I will say this, if there's one thing that I wish that maybe they would have done a little differently with this new one that was in the original, is I felt like the characters this time around, whenever a year had passed and they came back and they were reuniting, I felt like it hadn't ruined their lives as much as what it should have. And because in the original one, when they came home, Jennifer Love Hewitt, you could see that it had changed her whole personality. And you saw Sarah Michelle Gellar. She was going to be this big actress in New York, and now she was working at home in her sister's store. And I just felt like that there wasn't enough of that, because they honestly all felt like they were all pretty happy up until they got the letter.
Yeah, I know. You have that whole moment, you see it in the trailer where she's at her wedding shower and she's getting all these gifts, and that's where she sees the note, and that's the first time it, like, hits her.
Right.
So, Danica's character. But
But
no, I
Teddy's
agree
the
with
one that really went through the ringer. He was the drunk that was like living kind of crazy, and he's like, "Get out of here."
Yep, that's right, I know. He was the one that, like, out of all the characters when they came back a year later, that, like, right off, it just affected him because he was distant from the other, characters, the other friends in, the movie. And then, you had Stevie, who was kind of opposite. Like, Stevie, like, when you first see her in this movie, she had not really connected with her friends after high school, and then all
Right.
of a sudden she was like best friends with Danica, and like just a totally different character from the person that we saw like 1 year later.
Hmm.
So, which, we'll talk more about that later on. But yeah, I mean, I like that. Like, that was another thing that was great. Like, you had the original movie, like you said, where um the characters, when they came back 1 year later, they were just in a different mind space. What happened to them and what they witnessed and dealt with. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it really hit them, like with Julie and Helen, like, and
And even
their
Barry
relation.
and
Yeah,
sorry,
and Ray.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah, Barry and Ray, because Barry essentially just became a bigger asshole,
he
and
did.
Ray just kind of I was just thinking like Ray was kind of the character in the original that they really kind of like were playing with red herrings and stuff, and then
Mhm.
it turned out that him and Julie like they got together and everything, and so I was excited to see, and I liked how in this new one when you see them together, like he says, "Oh, when she thinks that he's at the front door or something," and she goes, "Oh, fuck."
I
And he's like,
know.
"I know we're not exactly friends, but I thought maybe I should just come and check on you."
Yeah, and that was another great thing about this movie is they really, I'm sure you thought this too, but it's like after I Still Know We Did Last Summer, and at the end of the movie they're together, you think, oh, this is going to be a couple that's going to like be together and stay together. And then you
Mhm.
find out that they've separated and they don't like each other. They haven't seen each other in a long time. And there's a reason for that. Um, but yeah, I mean, that was another like kind of interesting, not twist, but character shift
Yeah.
where these characters had grown apart, they divorced, and they're brought back together because of this one thing that's happening to these other characters. So,
And Julie
um,
was exactly how I imagined her. I've been watching interviews of Jennifer Love Hewitt talk about this, and she
yeah,
says that it was important for her to bring Julie back in a very realistic and authentic way. And I think that she really nailed it.
I think she did too. And, I know she came on kind of towards the end of filming, but I think it flowed perfectly. And I think she was just so good in this. She was great. And she was one of my favorite things about this movie. And when she's on screen, you just absolutely love her.
Yes.
And like her chemistry with Freddie Prince Jr. Worked well in this. Like I said, their character dynamic shifted, but they were great on screen together. And she was great with the other characters in the movie. Um, and her part in this movie really mattered. Like, I remember her talking about how she said that like if Julie's gonna come back, she's gonna matter in this movie. Like, there's got to be
Yeah.
a reason for her to be in it. It's not just gonna be a cameo, then and done, like one scene type of thing. Like, there's got to be a story there for Julie, and she had a great story here. So, just
She really
she's
did.
not on yeah, and she's not on scene every moment throughout this movie, but when she's here, when she's in the movie, she's great. And she was one of my favorite things. I love Jennifer Love Hewitt in general, and
She is.
uh,
She's so likable and sunny and bubbly. She's like a Drew Barrymore to me.
she is. I agree with that. So I absolutely agree with that. Um, Nathan says, I hate that she was barely in this movie. Yes, she wasn't in the whole movie the whole time, but like I said, the scenes that she was in were so good. Were so good.
Yeah,
Like
they definitely
my
made the most of her. The short time that they had her, I think they made the most of it.
Yes. And one of my favorite moments, and it's not a spoiler at all. Like, it's not like a major twist or anything, but it's the moment where she's in her house with our main character, and you see the Barry and Helen picture, and you see the painting, and if you notice, that painting is Helen's house.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's Helen's house.
I mean, I guess I was focused in on the picture of her and Barry and Helen. Something I noticed after seeing it the third time today was she had Ray's head cut out of it
She did. Yeah,
because they
and
were
there's just
divorced.
they were divorced. So, but no, just moments like that were just so great. Like that was a great moment. Like I don't know about you, like when I watched I Still Know You Did Last Summer, one of the most emotional scenes for me in that movie is when Julie is reflecting on her friend Helen and she has that picture by her bedside and she's kind of like just
Touching it.
holding it. Yes, and I always get emotional when that scene comes up because I think about like their last moment together, and I know we did last summer where they're talking in the car and obviously in the first movie, and
Yeah.
obviously their friendship isn't the same. And I just keep thinking like, what is Julie thinking at that moment when she's looking at the picture, thinking, I wish I would have um, been there for her and protected her, and I don't know. I don't know if you think about stuff like that, but I kind of just think of that
No,
a
totally.
lot.
I was just thinking that Helen, I mean, this is kind of going back to the original movie, but Helen Shivers is to me such an iconic character in horror
Yes.
because
Yes.
that 7 to 10 minute sequence of her being chased in the original, I think is one of the best, like most suspenseful sequences in any slasher film.
I agree. It is the best chase scene in a slasher movie by far.
Hmm.
And uh man, you just root for her the whole time. Like
And she
the
gets
whole
so close.
she gets so close. And I still watch it today and I'm like, don't stop like keep running. Like run into the crowd. Like you're there. You are so there. And she turns around and
Whack,
there's
whack.
the oh my gosh, but she's still fighting towards the end with that. Like she's not like just like falling on the ground, like just like giving in to this killer. No, she is like they're going back and forth, and she's trying to protect herself as much
Yeah,
as
and
she can.
I really liked how that scene was executed because
Me too.
he chases her for so long, and you think she's going to get away to the point where it almost seems like she's going to be like the final girl. And then
Yes. Oh
when
yeah.
he slashes her, it's such a moment, and I actually think it works as much as I love the character. I think that you get a moment because the music that's playing when she's running
Mhm.
towards the fireworks, it's kind of
Yep.
sad, hopeful music,
Yes.
and then suddenly when she stops, that's when it turns dark and he starts slashing her. But I just thought you've never really seen that in a slasher movie before. Somebody that ends up getting slashed, but when you see them almost getting to, help, there's like this moment of it's like heroic almost. And then suddenly
Mhm.
she's just taken down. And then for Julie to find her later on the boat, just as a corpse on ice, like that was pretty. I thought about that with the
Oh,
scene in the car when they were
yeah.
talking and Julie said, we used to be a lot of things and it was a really sad moment. And I'm like, oh, and now she finds her dead body on ice.
Oh, it's so sad. And then I go back to I still know what you did last summer when she's looking at the picture, and I get emotional because like you said, that scene, she said, we used to be friends, and Julie says we used to be a lot of things, and you just see the hurt in Helen's eyes, like this was her best friend, and now, it's a totally different person. Um,
That's
that's
what
an
I wanted
emotional
more
scene.
of in the new one.
Yes, I did too. That's what I wanted more too. I
I
did.
felt like that the two girls they did such a good job, but I felt like it would have been more effective had when they came back maybe they didn't get along,
Yeah.
and the whole movie was about kind of redeeming their friendship, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you do have like that friend dynamic there, like you said, of Danica and the lead. Like they're like the most likable characters, and there's moments where Danica, just witnessed like somebody in her life being killed and the trauma that she was going through. Like her friend was there, and um you have like the moment on the bed where they're like talking and everything. So I do love those two characters in this new movie. They're like my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Um And then, so where would you like going on to the kills in this, like the stalk and the slash um of this movie?
They were brutal.
They were brutal. I feel like this is probably the most brutal the Fisherman has been in this
Oh, by
franchise.
far. By the original movie to me, I had actually forgotten until I rewatched the original just how low on the gore it was. Like
Yes, I
it
know.
it really wasn't that bloody, and then you get to
No.
I still know is pretty bloody.
Yes, it is. It amped the blood up. It definitely
Hmm.
did.
But
Yeah.
this new one, I mean, like that, I won't spoil it, but there is a certain murder where it's a twofer. You know which one I'm talking about? Somebody dies and then somebody gets killed while holding
Yes.
them.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. And that
Oh,
kill was like, whoa, I almost had to turn my eyes for that.
I know. I know. And like sometimes when the hook would go into people and like how realistic it was, like that was another thing. I feel like if there was CGI in this movie, I didn't even notice it because I feel like they
No.
used a lot of practical in this movie. And that was great. Like I
Well,
love that.
the budgets are always relatively small on these movies, aren't they?
They are, yes. So they are. So but I just thought that was great. Like I'm like, you a lot of the times you'll see some slashers use a lot of or some horror movies or movies use a lot of special effects, which is fine. But with a movie like this, I'm like, bring on the practical effects and the practical kills and the gore and everything. And they amped it up with that in this movie.
Yes,
Which I thought, when I being a slasher movie fan like you are and growing up with Scream, and I know we did last summer and all these movies, like it's just so great to see the practical work in the movie. So
I
I thought
agree.
that was great. So yeah, the kills they amped it up in this for sure. Um, but talking about Helen, just saying, all I'll say is I love that Helen never went away. Like her presence is always in this franchise. Like you know how like some movies like for example, Scream and the character of Tatum, like that's Sydney's
Yes,
best friend. Tatum like goes away, like they don't really talk about her too much,
they don't show
and
her picture or anything
don't
really
show
in
her
the sequels.
picture or anything like that. Like there's a brief mention, I think, in Scream 5, and or you see like a
Her
something of
urn.
Tatum's. What is it?
It's Dewey has her urn right
Oh, okay.
beside a picture. Yeah, so they did show it briefly, but it was kind of one of those you blink and you miss it if you're not looking for it.
Yes, and then I know in Scream 4 there's a deleted scene where they mention Tatum, but Helen's presence is always in the movie. Like
Mm.
always in these movies. Even in again, I still know we did last summer. Um so I love that there was love for Helen in this. Like she is like you said, she didn't survive, but she's one of the best like scream queens in genres. And I call her Scream Queen because I just cherish this character so much and I love her. And, for the longest time, I thought I was the only Helen fan. Like when I was a kid or a teenager, I was watching these movies and I'm rooting for Helen the whole time. And you just sympathize with her. And then now, all these years later, you just have this love for her. And I think it's not only the character, but I think it's the way Sarah Michelle Gellar portrayed her. And so there's a lot of love for Helen in this movie, and that put a smile on my face. I was like, okay, this is awesome. Her legacy lives on.
And I just always felt really bad for Helen because her sister was horrible to her.
Oh my gosh, horrible,
Elsa, can we just
horrible.
talk about Elsa for a second? Because
Yeah, 'cause I want to talk about we can dive into the original now. Let's talk about that.
Elsa was from the moment she appeared on screen, and it killed me because she was played by a really beautiful actress, Bridget
Yes,
Wilson, who,
yes, I love Bridget Wilson.
yes, and I still think of her as the teacher from Billy Madison.
I think of that. I think of Mortal Kombat, and then House on Haunted Hill. Like she had a smaller part, but she had some really
Yes,
fun moments. But
but
anyway, you're talking about Elsa, yes.
yeah, so when she played Elsa, like from the moment she's on screen, like I'll never forget that first moment when she's like, "Hey, are you riding with me?" And then Helen's like, "No, tell mom I'll be home later." And she's like, "Oh, is little Miss Croaker getting sauteed tonight?"
A twit
and
with
it just
the what did she say? A
she
twit with the
says
twit or
she's like, oh, a twit with a wit. And then Elsa goes, eat me.
something. Eat me, and then walks away. And then you got like Elsa at the
No,
moment, like you what?
I was gonna say the cruelest thing I think that she says is it's when she's sitting in her chair and she's telling her she can't go to work because she's got to be in the parade, and
I
she's like,
know.
you and your hair is so pathetic.
So, and
She's
then she walks
awful.
across. So, but she is so awful in this, and I always wondered, like, well, I kind of know why she did. She just had that like
Jealousy.
animosity, jealousy towards Helen, is because like Helen was like the Croaker Queen, like the popular girl in school, like the people that the guys loved and the people and people wanted to like or they liked her and everything. And I feel like Elsa did not get that same love. And if you read the book, which the book is totally different, um, like they don't go into Helen's parents too much, but like Helen is praised so much by her parents in the book.
Hmm.
And like she's this like perfect daughter. And I think that's why Elsa just had so much jealousy towards Helen. Um, but yeah, that scene always gets me too when she's in her room and she's like, well, mom and dad put me in charge of the store and I want you to be there tomorrow.
Hmm.
And I'm like, how hateful can you be toward your sister? Like, I don't get it at all.
Well, it just felt like I'm just like this poor girl. Like, what does she have to live for? Because she came home after, Julie and her just had that, that semi argument, and she said, "I wish we were
Yeah.
still friends." And then her dad won't even speak to her. Do you remember that? He
Yeah, her
just
dad won't speak to her. Yeah.
And I'm thinking like she may have just been. They may have expected her to be like this huge actress in New York, and because she
Yeah.
didn't accomplish that, they may treat her differently now. I thought about that a little bit.
I thought about that too, and it's like that in the book too. Like they just treat her differently, like 1 year later, because she did not succeed in their eyes. Like that was always the daughter that they thought was perfect and that she's going to succeed and do great things. And then, she didn't make it in New York. And so everybody around her, including Barry, kind of disappeared from her life. And the people that are in her life don't treat her right.
Yeah.
So
Helen was
that's a
just a tragic character all around.
she was, and you feel bad for her, and that's I don't want to say I love her because it was a tragic character. You just root for her because she's just been through so much. Like not only like the whole fisherman concept, but like her friends and family and boyfriend all just kind of turned away from her.
Hmm.
So it's heartbreaking. It's just so heartbreaking.
That's
Um,
a testament to Kevin Williamson's writing.
I want to dive into that. So Kevin Williamson for me, um, one of the best writers that we have today, but also really back then, because it's a Kevin Williamson movie when you see it, like hit the writing, how he writes characters in movies, the
Yes,
dialogue that they have towards each other, like just that chemistry is so great. It's witty, it's fun, it's suspenseful. Like he knows what viewers want to see,
he
and
really
I love
does.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I root for. I just love him so much.
And the fact that he is an openly gay man who, when he
Yes.
wrote the franchise for Scream, this is a really good story. I'm going to tell it because it was when I was a kid, and I always knew when I watched Scream that and I just thought it was because I was a gay kid, that I related to Sidney Prescott in
Yeah.
some ways. And as I got older, I read this article one time where Kevin Williamson had said one time that he wrote Sydney kind of reflecting himself, like in the ways that she's kind of shy and quiet, and then she has
Mhm.
to stand up strong and fight off Ghostface. That was kind of his experience with dealing with homophobia.
Yep. I was gonna say
And
that.
I just thought, and I had no idea about that. And when I read that, I'm like, there's a reason why I'm so connected to the franchise and these movies and his writing specifically, because it really
Yeah.
does speak to our community, I think.
I agree with that. Like I was I didn't come out until 2014. But I just remember like through middle school and high school, even when I fully didn't know, um, I remember a lot of kids and teenagers always assuming I was gay. Again, I was struggling, didn't really I didn't fully understand at the time, but being bullied and being picked on and just like feeling like I was just I don't know how to describe it.
Well, you and I went
Um,
to the same high school, so I was right there. We didn't, even though I wish now, looking back, that we could have been closer because I think maybe we could have supported each other
I
during
agree.
that time. But I just want you to know that I came from that same place, and
Yeah, you
there's nobody better that
you
understands
understand
it than me.
you understand it. And I went to a school on a army base, and there were kids that were horrible there, and you just dealt with it. But it made us strong people like Sydney Prescott. It made us
Yes, it
strong
did.
people and who we are today.
Badasses.
Um, Badasses. That's exactly right. And again, this is Scream Gay Horror, so we're LGBTQ plus. We're here with each other. We support each other. If you're an ally, if you support us, like thank you so much. Thank you. And
Yes, thank you very much. We're living in crazy times right now, and I appreciate any love and support
love.
that comes our way.
Exactly. And anybody out there who is in the community who maybe you've already, if you maybe you're wanting to come out, or um, you've just come out, or if you're just in the community, if you're watching this, I hope you know that you're loved and you're cherished by myself and Todd and so many others. And um, you know, we're a horror movie streaming series, but we're also about love and acceptance and being there for each other, and knowing that like we'll always be there for each other, and hold each other's hands. And I
Absolutely.
ramble and ramble and ramble, but you know what I mean. So
No,
we're
I
just
agree with you, and I think that that's something that, and also look at just how much cool stuff you and I do. I mean, like anybody that
I
goes to like
know.
these comic cons and like, and it's interesting that you say, well, we like horror, and we're also about love and acceptance. I really feel like that a lot of gays, at least in that are famous, or that they do podcasts and stuff, kind of like what we're doing,
Yeah,
they tend to find the most acceptance in the horror genre. Like the horror genre is very inclusive, and
exactly. Well, I was
yeah,
gonna say, whether you're gay, trans, straight, like if you're in this horror movie community, like we're an awesome. The horror movie community is awesome. We have each other's back. We support each other. We love each other. It doesn't matter how we identify. Like we're just there for each other. And
absolutely,
I've I've met a lot of people in my life that support me, love me. I support them. I love them. Um, I've met a lot of my close friends through this community and through YouTube. And the amount of support and love I got when I came out, like it still touches me today. Like it's still, I think about it all the time. And so, just to my friends and family, the people in my life, and to the horror movie community, thank you. Thank you so much. We love you. We cherish you. And we're a community that will
yes, we
stick
do.
by each other. So, um, go to the comments. Nathan
There you
says,
go.
"What were you saying?
I was
Can you hear
saying that
me?"
was very well said.
Well, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Um, yep, I can hear you. But Nathan says,
Yeah.
"Sorry to hear that, guys, about the being bullied and picked on. Thank you, but I appreciate that. I know Todd does, but you know what? We're strong people today, so we are strong.
Yep. Nobody better mess with me in my community today because they'll get a different Todd.
They'll get a different Justin." Um, and then
Yep.
Nathan says, "I support you guys," and he says, "Love you all." Well, we love you, Nathan. So
Love
thank you
you
so much.
all of the supporters and all the fans. We love you guys.
Thank you, thank you. So, and then Circulation 29 also mentioned a gay themed horror movie. I don't know if you've ever seen this, Hellbent. It is
You
a
know,
gay themed slasher.
It sounds kind of familiar, but I don't. You know something? The one gay themed horror film that I do remember is, did you see Them or They with Kevin Bacon? Where
Which one is that? No, I didn't see that one. I did
it's
not
the
see that movie.
it's a horror movie that takes place at a gay concentration camp, and that's all I'll say.
Oh, okay. I think it's on Peacock. I might go and stream that one.
It's
So,
not as I will say this. It's fun in a way, but it won't make you feel as bad as what you might think the storyline will make you feel before going in.
well, I'll tell you this about Hellbent, Todd. Hellbent is a Halloween-based slasher movie, which I love. Woo woo.
Yeah.
Um, it came out during that time period of I Know We Did Last Summer and Scream and all those movies, and like a majority of the characters are either gay or bisexual. And I love that we have like these gay themed slasher movies out there. So pretty awesome. Yeah, so I love it. Absolutely love it. So a couple things to talk about with the original movie. We talked about Helen. I think I can gush over Helen all the time.
I
The
could too, honestly.
suspense.
I could do a whole episode on Helen.
I think I could too.
We
um,
know so much about her, we definitely could.
we could. We really could. Uh, is a DVD is oop, isn't it? Yes, it's out of print, but Hellbent, like you can get it for like $18 on eBay. Like, so it's worth it. It's so worth picking up. I love that movie. I wish it was streaming. I don't think it's streaming.
I was just about
Um,
to ask if it was streaming.
yeah, it might be. I'll have to look that up in a minute. But rewatching I Know We Did Last Summer right now, like, this month, like for the three times I did, it's still suspenseful. Like almost 30 years later, this movie is a suspenseful, scary movie. Like, I don't know. Did it work for you rewatching it? Like the suspense is still there.
So what's interesting is that even though I know what's coming, you're right, the suspense is still there, but there's certain moments that I remember. Do you ever watch a horror movie that you grew up with and there's a moment in the movie that you remember? It doesn't scare you now, but you remember as a kid there's a certain moment that really kind of terrified you in it.
Yep. Yep.
And for me, it was the scene whenever he runs Barry over the first time and he
Oh
gets out of the
yes.
car and all you see it's whenever Barry's like, "Help me!"
Help
And
me. Yeah.
yeah, and then you see the fisherman like walk over him and you just see Barry's point of view looking up at him. And that scene I had to fast forward as a kid because it really scared me.
Oh my gosh, it scared me too. And there's so much tension built up in that scene too. It is so creepy. And like he just pulls the hook out for a minute just to show him like, "Hey,
Mhm.
I'm coming after you." Um
And I
oh,
think what is
oh,
so sorry, go ahead.
I would say it just chills. It gives me goosebumps.
I know, right? What I was going to say is that it's also like one thing that I think is really effective about the original one is that nobody, with the exception of Max, that had the
Mhm.
small role,
Yep.
nobody really dies until the last 30 minutes. And
That's exactly
so
right.
it's almost like the whole movie is like almost like a more horror version of like a Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Fatal Attraction kind of
Yes.
movie where you have a guy who they've wronged and now he's stalking them and making their life miserable. But then the final 30 minutes, he kills them.
Yep. He's like
And
teasing them. Yeah.
yeah.
He's going after them, stalking them, teasing them, but he's not killing them yet. So you've like, in that scene where Barry's like, shown the hook and like he's run over, you know, in Barry's eyes, he's like, after that event, he's like, well, he didn't get me. He just wanted to scare me. But no, like he knew when he wanted to come after these kids and it was going to be 4th of July. Like this was going to be the day that like he was like, okay, I'm done terrorizing you. Now I'm going to kill you. One by one. And like you
And
said,
I go ahead.
I would say, like you said, it's a build-up movie. Like Kevin Williamson is so smart because in any of his movies, he will build characters up. You will get to know the characters. You'll feel bad for a lot of the characters. And then right when they die, like hits you in the gut, like it's a gut punch.
Hmm. Yeah, Barry's death, even though, like I was saying, he was kind of a jerk through most of it. One line that he said that really stuck with me and made me kind of respect him a little more was when Helen's like, he had a hook, Barry. I saw it. It was a big, huge hook. And then you can tell that she's terrified. And he just says, it's everything's going to be all right. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. And then to know that both of them get killed within a few minutes after that, I think it was effective, very powerful.
Very powerful and very effective. I agree. This is why I love the movie so much. I just do. Like, I think of moments like this, like, he's wanting to protect Helen. Like, obviously, their relationship, they split and there was tension there. But, like, this year, this moment of, like, craziness brought them together. And then, of course, they're torn apart again
Yeah.
when he goes after him. Like, when Barry dies and you see Helen witness it and, like, she's running towards him, but, like,
And those
no
people
one.
grab her.
I'm like,
Why do
why
they
are you
grab her?
doing that? Why are
I
you grabbing her?
I don't know. I would like to talk to. I mean, it's funny. Like I know
Oh,
him, but like I would like to find out what exactly the point was behind that because
yes,
I
I want to
watched
know
that
too.
movie and I can't come up with the fact that why when she's running out saying, "Look, somebody's trying to kill him up there. Help me!" They grab her and won't let her
They
go.
grab her, or they don't go and like look up. They're all just like, "Well, let me see what's going on with her." I'm like, "No, like you're," and they're not like you're not seeing like a face of concern or anything. They're just grabbing her. Like, no, like either follow her up the stairs or like run up the stairs yourself or look up and see what's going on. Like obviously, like she is distressed and she's yelling for Barry and no one is doing anything about it. I never get that
And the police officer, like some of the
Yes.
ways that like he handled it when he said, "Did the fisherman use the same hook to cut all your hair off?" Like I was like, she just
Oh, I was
lost
so
somebody.
pissed. I was so pissed. Yeah.
Oh.
I interrupted you, but no, I was pissed. Like I was pissed with that police officer. I was like, who in their right mind, first of all, is gonna react like that to somebody who is just in distress and like
Mhm.
witness something just horrific. Like even if he didn't see it, like obviously he knows she's like in bad shape and she witnessed something.
And she's
And
a
then
kid,
you what?
a teenage kid, and I was saying
Yeah.
she's a teenage kid. And whenever what I liked her little comment though, listen, you little shit stick, Mayberry ass reject. That
I did
was
too.
great.
I was like, wow. And that's another thing I love about Helen. She doesn't back down. She's gonna tell you how she feels. So, yeah,
And I think that we loved Helen so much in the original one. And I got to say that because we've been talking about her a while, but with Julie, I think that Julie
yes,
kind of redeemed herself a bit. And I still
I
know and
agree.
became tougher because let's be honest, that final 15 minutes on the boat, all Julie really did was scream.
A scream. That's all she did was scream. I was gonna say this. Like, I love Julie James. I love Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I do
But my
too.
favorite but my favorite character, and I know we did last summer, is Helen. Like,
Yes.
she's the best. Like, you root for all of them, but like when Helen dies, it hits you. Like it's just horrific because you're rooting for that character. But let's
Yeah.
talk about Julie James. Like you said, the last 15 minutes of I Know We Did Last Summer, she's just screaming the whole time. But
But
she
it's
has a
so
strong
fun.
it's so fun. I mean, she's a scream queen, so of course, like she's gonna scream, and it's great. Um, and she's got her good moments in this movie. Like
Oh,
she's a
yeah.
character. She's a character in Scream or in not in Scream, but in I Know We Did Last Summer that the beginning of the first movie, she's bubbly, she's happy. Then this incident happens. 1 year later, she's depressed, she's struggling with it.
Yeah.
And then she winds up being a fighter towards the end of the movie with a lot of screaming, but she winds up like fighting. So, um, and then you do
Oh,
have
the
that
girl
moment.
be having, I mean, if,
What were you saying?
go ahead.
No,
I
I was
was
gonna
saying
say
that she just has the lungs for it. She's one of the best scream queens.
she does, and you have that iconic moment where she's like, "What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?" And like turns around and spins. Like I'm like, this is great. Like
Which
I love it
she gets to repeat it in this new movie
in a different way, and I love it. So
in
it
a
was
different
great.
way, and it's totally worked. I got to say, when I
It
saw the trailer
worked.
for the new one, and she said that in the trailer. I was like, okay, how cheesy is this going to be? But when she says it, it's the perfect moment.
It works. It's the perfect moment. It is the perfect moment. So I love Julie James. Let's talk about Ray. And I know we did last summer, the first one. Like,
Mhm.
obviously, he's a character. Like, he's he seems like the wrong side of the tracks type of guy. Like, he's not, you know, rich or anything like that. But like, he just seems like the character. Like, he is like the red herring in that movie. Like, when
Right.
everything's going down, like you think it's him, or they kind of give you an idea that it could be him. Um, and then of course you have the moment at the end of the film where Helen has just died. Julie sees Ray, and then you see the boat, and you think, "Wow, okay, so maybe it is him."
Right.
So you know what I'm Billy Blue, the boat, Billy Blue, yeah.
Billy
So
Blue and Anne Heche.
and Anne Heche, and that's another character to talk about. Anne Heche in this movie. She
May she rest in peace.
may she rest in peace. I loved Anne Heche. I loved a lot of the movies she was in. She was great in this. Again, small part. I mean, she was a little thought she was a little crazy a
She
couple
was a
times.
little bit wild.
She was a little wild. She was a little wild, but like when I watch this movie, honestly, sometimes I forget she's in it. And not because she's not good in it. She's great in the movie, but like she has a smaller part, but then when you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, Anne Heche is in this movie, and she is really good in the movie from the moment she's in it. So
She also gives one of the biggest scares. Remember when she hits the window on
yes,
Julie's car?
yeah. Oh gosh,
You
you
forgot
forgot
your cigarettes.
you forgot your cigarettes. Well, I see you got this car working.
I know. She was totally onto them from the moment they walked in the door, but I felt like she was just like, I don't get visitors very often, so I'm gonna take the company I can get.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got the moment where like Julie goes back and she's talking about her brother, and she realizes that her brother, the person that they hit was not Anne Heche's brother, and like that whole dialogue and banter that she has back and forth between Julie is great. Like, you didn't see anything.
Get
Get
out of my
out of
house
my house.
when they're outside.
Yes, get out of my house. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
Um,
And her house looks a little bit when Julie shows up there, like, oh, really quick before, because it was on my mind earlier. That song that plays whenever he's chasing Helen through the department store. My
yeah.
sister calls it stripper music, but I know it's an actual song,
No,
but
yeah.
it was so effective in that scene.
Yes, it is. I mean, that whole scene is effective. Yeah, I didn't want to forget that either. Like that music, like when I
Well,
rewatched it.
when Helen is walking down the stairs right after Elsa gets slashed, and she's
Mhm.
like, Elsa, and then you just hear, but you better be sure before you leave, and it's like, and then it just goes, do you remember that moment when it goes, oh,
Yes. Yes.
it's just perfect. It works, and it sounds stupid coming from me, but in the movie it works.
Oh my gosh. And no, it's a great moment in the movie. Like, if there's obviously there's this tension here, there's just build up and eeriness there, and that music is in the background. It's just so creepy. Um
My point
yeah.
was Anne Heche, when she showed up to talk to Anne Heche, that song that was playing in
Mhm.
her front yard was a little creepy as well.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So Um, and then another character to talk about, Barry, like good old Bear.
Hey,
Like you
Bear.
said, yeah, he is the jerk in this movie. He redeems himself at the end before he dies, but like he's the bad boy, and
I
um,
still laugh at all of his little temper tantrums. Like
I know.
when she's like, "Listen to yourselves." No, we're going to the police. He's like, "We don't have time for your shit."
Gee. or when they go to the house, I know you did last summer. Ooh, what a crock of shit.
And then tells them she's like, "We need help," and he's like, "Yeah, I'll stay. You two should check out a mirror once in a while. You two look like shit run over
He's
twice."
such a jerk in
I
those
know he's
scenes.
awful.
And then again, he redeems himself towards the end of the movie. But Ryan Phillippe, I mean, let me just tell you, like that boy, that
I
man
mean,
now.
He's on this shirt right here, and he looks pretty
I
good.
know. It looks great. I mean, he was great, and I loved him in Cruel Intentions, and I loved him in this movie. Like, but he ages like fine wine. Like, I
I
love
think he's
Ryan.
gotten hotter, if it's
I
possible.
think he's gotten hotter too. Like, that was like,
He
oh,
got he
Ryan.
got hotter, and Freddie kind of he aged decently. I
Yeah,
think that I
yeah,
was,
yeah.
but he has kind of a silver fox daddy thing
He
going on.
does. He does. I like that. I do like the Silver Fox daddy thing he's got going on for sure. Real quick, Tony says I need to check out Hellbent. Yes, you do. I hope it.
Yes.
I would love if some company would release that on Blu-ray. Like we have Vinegar Syndrome and all these companies, and they release it these obscure slasher movies or horror movies or cult movies. That is a movie that somebody
Yeah,
needs to get a hold of. So
I would love
I'm
to
gonna
see it.
say it's. I love that movie, and it's. I'll tell you this about Hellbent, and I'll let you see it, and we can do like a during Halloween, like talk about the movie. But
Yes.
um, it also has great tension. It has some great tension in the movie. Like there's a certain moment. I won't say anything, but it's about when somebody's about ready to get their demise, but the tension is so eerie and creepy, and you have flashing lights and everything going on, and
Yeah.
oh, it's a moment that gives me goosebumps too. It's kind of like this Helen moment, like when Helen dies. It's one of those moments where you're just like, wow. Um, but yeah, so I know we did last summer. Then you have our good old fisherman in this movie. The big reveal at the end, who he is, and
Yes.
how he was the one that they ran over and dumped the body in the river and or in the water. And like again, those 15 minutes with him, he's creepy. Like he's just eerie in
Hughes
this movie.
Watson is a really great
Yes.
character actor.
He really is. He is a great character actor, and I thought he did such a great job in this movie. So, absolutely. And he again, as the fisherman, like in the getup and like the wardrobe and everything, it is a scary character. Very scary character. The moment where Helen as being like she's in the department store, and it's still one of my favorite scenes, and it creeps me out is when all the mannequins are there and the plastic is over them, and she turns around and he's right there. I'm like, you know that is him. Like, get going, like run, like get out of there, like. And then you
That's
got that like
exactly
fist
what I was
bump.
thinking.
Yes, because she sees him. She's looking right at him. My thing is, you're running. Like I am gone. Like I
Oh,
before he even jumps out.
and didn't you love? And I don't think that this is really a spoiler. It's more just like something. I think
Yeah.
it was in the trailer, but when the podcast girl jumps onto the platform
Yes.
and starts
Oh,
pulling the rope, it you knew
so much.
exactly what it was.
It was. And I'll tell you that that's another great moment in the movie with the podcaster and our main actress when they're going in that building. You know that is the old Shivers building, Helen Shivers family store. So
Yep.
that was another thing. Like right away, like even before they got in the building, I'm like, "Oh, this is the building. This is the place that Helen died and they've kind of revamped it and it's a different, business, but you know exactly where
It's
they're at. Like,
still got the same setup and everything behind
yes.
me. Yeah.
And that's again a good I love the tension, I love the detail that went into this new movie. Like the director, Jennifer, like she was great. Like she knew what to do, she knew the details, like everything about it. The set pieces, what they needed to look like so that like when an audience like us watches the movie, we're like, okay, I know exactly what that is. So
Yeah.
pretty amazing. So now let's go on to real quick. I still know you did last summer.
Yes.
Uh, I again like the original. I love this movie, and I think when the humor works, it works great in this. I think it's funny. I think there's great tension in it. I think there's again great characters in the movie, and there's some great dialogue. Like, like
Jack Black.
Jack Black is in this movie, one of his
He,
first movies.
he's the one character that Jennifer Love Hewitt said in an interview I just watched. She said, if there could be one character brought back from the dead in the franchise, I wish it would have been Jack Black.
Oh my gosh, that would have been great.
Yo, what's up, my brother?
What's up, my brother? I think he's talking to you. I think he's your brother.
And talk about a gruesome death.
I know.
He
For a
got it
character
bad.
for a character that did nothing wrong, he was just like this happy guy and just, it just died like poor guy, like the hook in the hand, like
It was
just
so torturous.
it was so torturous. Oh my gosh. But I loved that sequel and I rewatched it again and I still love it. Like
My
I you what?
my favorite part of the movie is when he's chasing Brandy, her, Julie, and Nancy
Yes.
up, and him and Brandy fall through the glass, and she
Oh
jumps up.
my gosh.
They bounce off the bed.
Yes.
Such a great
Oh,
moment.
such a great moment. But what an awesome sequel. Like you could tell Kevin Williamson didn't write this movie. Like,
Yeah,
didn't have the Kevin Williamson charm, but I still think it's a great sequel that I feel like is very underrated and very underappreciated. Um Either people love it or hate it. Like, and I don't understand the hate for the movie. Like, again, like we were talking about with Scream, I think Scream is just so high up there for a lot of people that when you get I Know We Did Last Summer, people think it's like it's the B movie version of Scream. And I love both franchises equally. I absolutely love them.
but I
Um,
remember when I Know What You Did came out back in the day. It was like a year after Scream, and
yeah.
at the time, it was just as popular. Like people
Hmm.
loved it just as
Yeah.
much, and it was another Kevin Williamson film, and people were excited about that. And Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., Ryan Phillippe, and Sarah Michelle Gellar all became breakout stars right after.
Yep. Yep. And like you said, Kevin Williamson wrote it and it was directed by a director that actually went on to do a slasher movie in '05 called Venom,
Was that
which
good?
it was great. I love that movie.
I need to see it because I know he directed that, and I just looked it up the other night, but I have not watched it yet.
It is a great movie. Again, one of these other slashers from this era, but it has like a voodoo twist with it. And I love that movie. Again, I think that one is actually streaming somewhere. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, I still know we did last summer. I loved, I think Jennifer Love Hewitt like is even better in this movie than she was in the first one. Like you said,
Oh,
she
for sure.
she finally found like her backbone, the strong character, like fought back, and I love her in this movie. Um my favorite character, of course, is Nancy. I love Brandy. Like,
Oh, Carla, you mean?
yeah. Oh, Carly. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
Carly. Carly. Yes, I love her. Absolutely love Carla. Carla. And
Her boyfriend was super fine. Oh,
super fine. And who is that actor? Like, I always forget. Is it Tim?
Micaiah Pfeiffer, I think.
Oh, he was so good looking.
Ooh.
In this, love
And
like the
he just
jujitsu.
and through the whole movie, so frustrated because he just could not tap that ass.
He could not have Carla. Every moment he got, he just couldn't get it. Like,
Jack Black kept screwing it up in the hot tub and everything.
and then he had that one character. What was his Will's
Well,
character? Like, he gets in the hot tub with him. He's like, find your own jacuzzi.
and he's like, I can't wait. And you can tell Brandy's just loving it. She just loves that he's just so frustrated.
Or when they're at the dance club and like Carlos says to him, "Oh, well, go dance with Julie," and he's like, "No, I want to dance with you."
I know he's like, now you know what I want to do to you, right? And she's like, no, I'm not aware of that. Oh, she's great.
Carla's great. I love Brandy. I just absolutely love her in this, and I'm glad like this movie, like when you think she's dead, she's not, and I was like, yes, like I think it just made up for
Helen.
losing Helen. Yes.
Hmm. I agree. I even thought that the screenwriter for I Still Know took some notes because I think a
Mhm.
lot of people were so sad with Helen that they were like, we can't kill two of her best friends. Or
No, exactly. Yeah, sorry I interrupted you, but I completely agree. So, they did such a great job by not killing her off. So,
Mhm.
and Carla is so likable. Like she's such a likable character. Like the moment where Julie wakes up after she got back from school and she's sleeping and she wakes
The
up hours
shoes.
later. Or the moment where she takes the knife and just go into the closet and like you have that good jump scare where Carla's in the closet grabbing the sweater or the shirt or tank
The
top of the
screaming.
what are you doing in my closet?
She's like, I was just trying to borrow your black skirt, but I'm not ready to die for it.
That was so good. Oh my gosh. Again, I Still Know You Did Last Summer is so much fun. And when the movie has tension, the tension is great. That whole chase scene with Carla in the greenhouse when she falls through and they're trying to get her out and then she turns around and there's the fisherman there.
And Brandy just fully commits to just that whole like, I mean, she
She
screams, she
does.
runs, she's scared, like she just committed to it.
She falls, she hits glass, like it's amazing if you that whole chase scene is great because like first they're in the attic above her hotel bedroom. Then she falls with the killer. Then she runs, winds up and jumping through a window, lands on top of the greenhouse, and then falls in the greenhouse. And she's still able to get up. Like I'm like, you go, girl. Like this is why I love you so much. So
Even though I felt so bad for what she was going through, I was laughing my head off when she fell through the greenhouse because she was trying so hard to not step on the broken glass, and then she's just finally like, ah! And
I
she just goes
know.
backwards.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I absolutely love that. Yeah, she's the best. She's again, you what?
I was gonna say we had to touch on Will because he was kind of a
Yes,
prominent character in that
he
movie.
was. I was gonna touch on Will. Like, yeah, so like you said, another, prominent character in it. Um
He was
that
pretty
like
hot,
oh gosh, she was gorgeous. Again, just they knew how to pick some really hot guys in this. So
right? I
I
mean,
mean,
they
holy crap.
back in the day, I feel like that was the one thing because back in the 90s, it was that joke that they didn't show nudity because Scream, commented on it that it didn't show
Yeah.
nudity and whatever. But at the same time, they had the most beautiful people playing the parts.
I know. Rather it was the women or the men, whoever it may be. Like these movies for everybody, straight, gay, whoever. Like they wanted eye candy, and damn, we got eye candy.
and
So
and for the most part, they were all really good actors as well.
exactly, 100%. I agree with that. So, but yeah, I mean, Will was a cutie. Like you loved Will like a lot in this movie. Like
Until
he
his big reveal.
was damn big reveal. I'll say this before his reveal though. One of the scenes that like gets me, like, not really now because you know who he is, but like when you first see the movie and he's like, he really loves, like, is really fallen for Julie, wants to be with Julie,
Yeah.
and she doesn't want anything to do with him except friendship. Like, you just feel bad for the guy. And then you get to the end of the movie when you find out that all of that was because he was Ben Wilson's son and he's one of the killers or
And
he's one of the bad guys.
let's just comment on some bad writing for a second. But
Yes,
do
I
you,
want
do
to.
you do you get it? Will Benson, Ben's son.
Benson. And then when you rewatch this movie, like the capital of what was it? What did they say? Like the
Brazil.
I'm like everybody, like when I was younger, I didn't know. Like I was like, okay, watching this movie, it's fun. But like you watch it as an adult and you're like, okay, something's definitely not right here because you would a person, not everybody, but like some people would watch it and go, that is totally wrong. Like I have no idea where
Well,
that is going.
it's crazy because back in the day, I remember I watched I Still Know with a couple of friends of mine before the new one came out. And we were talking about that. And I was like, I think it's hard now for us to relate to it because we know we could just pull out a cell phone or we could do
But then you
and
couldn't.
look it up. And all she had to do, she had to open up her cupboard and like look on a bag of
Yes.
flour or something.
Yes, you didn't have the internet back then. That's a great I mean, and if you had the internet, it was very, very little compared to what we have now. Like
Yeah.
social media is so much bigger than it was then. So that makes complete sense if you think about it. It's like they didn't have the information like we have now. So she looked on the back of a, bag of coffee and, they thought
There it
they won.
was.
Yeah,
Well, that we thought it was. It turned out to be the wrong answer.
I know. And Will was the one that did the voice and got them there. So
96.7. It's time for you to ultimate the ultimate quickie getaway.
getaway.
I
Another character I feel is kind of underrated is Nancy, the character of Nancy, like the bartender. Like I
know.
love her on screen. Like she's witty and she's just like straightforward and
I
and
feel
she's
like if the movie was remade today, Nancy would be a lesbian. I don't know
I
why.
think so too. I really think she'd be a lesbian. I really
Yeah.
do. I think she
And
would.
her comment, I liked her comments whenever the guys walked into the bar and they were like, well, we didn't get all dressed up for nothing. And she's like, oh, you're dressed up.
I know. And then one of my favorite line is when they were about ready to, when Julie's singing, everyone's a goddamn singer.
I know. And the funny thing is that Jennifer Love Hewitt had that song "How Do I Deal" on her. Yeah, she was a singer at the time.
Everyone's a goddamn singer. Like I love that.
She's got that orange in her mouth.
Yeah. And again, she's a character when you watch the movie, like they make her like as a red herring character. Like, could it be Nancy? Yeah.
That's
I
true.
mean,
Yeah, because she was kind of played as sketchy up until her chase scene with the girls. And then you're like, okay, she's a victim. And then her death scene with the guy that reminds me of Bill Cosby, but he's Bill Cobbs.
yeah, yes.
And, and he falls on her, and then just the way he pushes that pipe on through her, I was like, oh.
And I hate when Nancy dies. Like I know she's not like the most well-liked character, but like she's like going through this, like, you know, rained on, wet, soaked, trying to get away. And so like when he falls on her, she can't go anywhere. Like she's just stuck.
Yes.
And yeah. So
by the way, didn't you love that comment in the new I Know What You Did when they said maybe we should just disappear and go to the Bahamas for a while? And Freddie Prinze is like, for reasons I can't indulge, that is not a good idea.
Yeah, I know. So good. Just absolutely love it. I'm trying to think what else about I Still Know We Did Last Summer. I guess like it's not really a downfall, but like you know, like right away, like who the killer is. It's like Ben Willis.
Ben Willis. Yeah.
So like that doesn't have much of an impact like it did in the first movie, but the twist with Will really does make up for it.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I love at the end of the movie where Julie just shoots him and she's like, just effing die. Like
I know.
so good. So good still today.
And even that last little scene wherever he yanks her under the bed, I still think that that's a good jump scare.
It is a great jump scare. I love that jump scare. Now, my question for you is, do you think that scene actually happened, or do you think it was a dream sequence?
I think it was a dream sequence because the first movie when she was in the shower, that turned out to be a dream sequence because she tells Will, she's like, I had another dream, and he's like, the one in the shower, and she says, no, it's in a church. And so I thought the opening scene with her in the church, the shower, and then the ending was like another one of her hallucinations.
Yes, I agree with that. So, but overall, I love I Still Know We Did Last Summer. It's one of my favorite sequels. It's a great one. You got music from Jennifer Love Hewitt in this. How Do I Deal? And
Here I Go Again on My Own.
Here I go again on my own. I love it.
That was my sister's graduation song.
Was it really? Oh,
1996.
Nice. So, but yeah. So I'm sure you're the same way. You love this movie or enjoy this. And
oh yeah, it's very it's just, so the way I honestly feel about it is it's, so if I was introducing somebody to the franchise, I definitely would make sure that if they haven't seen any of them, they need to watch the original, because that one sets the tone and sets everything up. And I think, like, for example, my parents, because they're even when it came out, they were a little bit older, but they didn't like a lot of gore, so they really liked the original, but I still know it was a little bit too gory for them.
Yeah.
So they liked the original one.
I'll say like the kills in this are gory and great and just everything you love in a 90s slasher movie. So, and great tension. Like I said, it has its fun moments. It has good humor, but it has great tension in the movie too. So,
And to end on that note, I would say the biggest thing that came out of I Still Know was the growth of Julie.
agreed. That's my favorite thing about the movie was the growth of Julie. Like she
Yeah.
grew a lot in this. Her character arc was great in this movie. You didn't get a lot of Ray in this movie, but when he was on screen, he did a great job too. My only thing that gets me with Ray is in the beginning of the movie when he goes to visit Julie and he's trying to get her to
I
come
know
back.
what you're going to say.
Yeah, he's trying to get her to go to Southport, and I'm like, dude, like you both went through something horrendous. Why would you get mad at her when
And
she's
then just
there
leaves.
and just leaves?
He
Just
drove
leave.
all the way up there hours and then just drove right back, all because she said, and she even tells him, she's like, Ray, it's not you. She's like, I want to be with you. I want to go back, but I'm scared. And he's like, well, you just need a break from Croker Town and probably from me too.
I'm like, dude, that's not exactly what she's needing. She just wants to not be there. Like, you both went through something horrendous.
And then
And
gets
like,
mad when she invites him to the Bahamas.
I know. And I love Carla's reaction to
What do we have to sell his ass on the Bahamas?
it. So it's just great. Um, but I again love the movie. I want to go on. I'm curious if you've seen it. Have you seen I'll Always Know We Did Last Summer?
I watched a little bit of it whenever it first came out, and it was direct to video, and so I just rented it, and I don't remember hardly anything about it. I remember that maybe they referenced the first two like once in like a newspaper article, but other than that, it was just not really. Yeah, I didn't really consider it part of it. I consider this new one like a true third one to
It
me.
is, yes,
Yeah,
for sure. I
but what
did
are your
buy.
thoughts on it?
I didn't like it when I first saw it when it first came out because I was such a big diehard fan of the first two movies.
Yeah,
And I thought, well, who are these characters? And I want a true third movie. Like I rooted for that forever. Rewatching it, while I definitely don't love it, and I wouldn't say it's a great movie. There are things I do like about this movie, so I would say I enjoy the movie for what it is.
I
If
might
it
have
would
to
have been
give it a rewatch because it's been a long time since I've seen it.
I'd revisit it. Like it's definitely very straight to video. Like it was like that again, that era of like all these like low budget sequels that were straight to video. But the acting's pretty decent in it. It doesn't have great tension. The kills, just not very memorable. But what I do like about it now watching it all these years later is the supernatural element that it has with the fishermen, and how they played that out. So it's decent. Like I can go and watch it with the rest if I wanted to marathon all four movies. But like you said, this new movie is the true third movie in the series. So
And I'm so glad that we finally got it because after the new Screams came out a couple of years ago, I was like, I wonder if they would ever come back and do like another I Know What You Did or an Urban Legend. And did you hear that Urban Legend's getting a legacy sequel?
I feel like that's another great topic for a series of videos. It's Urban Legend because
Oh, yes.
I love that movie. Tony says I got the box set of all three films. I think it's from 88 Films. Yes. So there is a overseas box set with I Know What You Did Last Summer. I Still Know, and I'll Always Know. So
That's
um
awesome.
but yeah, I bought this recently because I was like, I want to rewatch it, kind of do like a little bit of a retrospective on the movie, give see what my thoughts are now. And again, is it perfect? Is it great? Absolutely not. But for a movie, for the time that it came out, for a straight to video movie, it's pretty solid. Like I would say I enjoy the movie and I definitely don't dislike it now like I did back then.
Right.
Um so anyway, now this is the time because we're like almost 90 minutes into this, which I'm having a blast. I appreciate you being a
I am too.
co-host, Todd.
Yes,
Um,
I've been having a great time. The time's actually flown by because I mean, we've just been
so
talking about so
much,
many great things.
so much. But this is the time I'm letting everybody know once we hit to that, um, you know, hour 30-minute mark, we're going to talk about spoilers. So, and it's not going to be a long, it's going to be like 10 minutes, but I want to say to those who are going to leave before we get into the spoilers, thank you for watching. I really
Yes,
appreciate it. And Todd, I would love for you to keep coming back, bud. Like I want you to be my co-host in this journey of a series of videos.
I will be here as long as you'll have me.
Yeah, I love you, buddy. I'm so well. The biggest thing is I'm glad we reconnected all these years after high school. Like I consider you a great friend, and I always love talking with you. So that's
Oh,
the
well,
biggest thing for me.
I feel the same way, and I think that what better way for us to have reconnected than through our love of film?
Exactly. So I love that. Um, but everybody, we will be back. And I'm going to talk to Todd later about how we want to do this. Do we want to do one once a month? Do we want to do every 2 weeks? Like, we'll figure it out. But I
Yeah,
want this to be a regular series of videos and come up with fun topics. And like I said, this is a horror movie based streaming series, but it's also about love and acceptance and support of each other. And you know I want this to be such a fun place for everybody. So I hope you all enjoy it and love this series of videos that we're going to do. And I love you, Todd, and I'm glad you're a part of this. So
I love you
thank you,
too.
buddy.
Yes, thank you.
So anyway, let's go on. I'm letting everybody know we're going to talk a little bit about spoilers now because I, I feel like the movie's been out a week, but I feel like not a lot of people have seen it. Um, but I want to talk about a few of the spoilers. Some of the major stuff that happened in this new I Know We Did Last Summer that genuinely surprised me. Like,
Oh my
especially
God.
one thing.
Well, I know, and I think we have the same opinion about it because it was very unexpected.
All right, so I'm counting it down 10 seconds, people. I'm again warning you if you have not seen this movie, stop this, go back and watch like the first 90 minutes of this video, and then come back later on once you see the movie and hear our thoughts. So let's just do it. So anyway, the biggest thing for me, and I'm sure for you, so in this movie, like they reference Helen so many times.
Yes.
And one, I love that. I love it. She's one of my favorite characters, one of your favorite characters. We really have expressed the love for her. You have an awesome cameo from Sarah Michelle Gellar in this movie. As
Yes.
Helen Shivers.
Yes.
So,
And go ahead.
she's been very vocal um about this movie. And she said the whole time, they're like, "Well, would you come back?" And she said, "I'm dead." Like
Hmm.
she is expressed. She is dead in this movie. Helen is dead. There's no way for her to come back.
She even said,
Um,
"I'm Sarah Dead Galar."
yeah, I know. Um, And, like, she was, like, very, like, tongue in cheek. Do you remember when they, did the first photo where, like, they started shooting and she took a picture of the chair and she was like, "I wasn't supposed to do that. That was, an accident."
And then she handled it very well because she made it just seem like, because her husband Freddie was in the movie, that she was there and everybody expected her to be there because they were friends with the director.
Yep.
But when she revealed that one little thing by accident, I think from that point on it makes sense now. She was probably so afraid to say anything else that she just that but she did make a good point though. She never lied. She just
She
said
never
she was
lied.
dead.
I know. She said, I'm dead. I never lied. I just said I'm dead. Helen's dead." So you get this wonderful scene and cameo with Sarah Michelle Gellar as Helen Shivers, and it just put my mouth dropped. I was like, what is going on here? Like, this
I
is.
didn't think it was actually her at first. I really
I didn't
didn't.
think it was same. I was shocked because you don't see, like, when you first see the Croaker Queen on the stage, like, you don't see her face. You
Yeah, the
just
back
see
of her.
like the back of her. So it can be anybody. Like, they don't even have to show her face, and they could just be like, okay, this is supposed to be Helen. Or I thought it was Danica, like in a dream. Like maybe this was going to be Danica on the stage and she was going to confront herself somehow.
Yeah.
But then she turns around and it's good old Helen on stage. The Croaker Queen is back. What was going through your? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. What was going through
What
my mind?
What was going through your mind at that moment?
It was as soon as she turned around, and the line that I loved that she said is whenever she's like, I have a name, and then she's like, Helen Shivers, and she's like, and don't you fucking forget it.
I know. I was
I
like,
like
oh my gosh.
I liked that Helen, because we remember her from the original movie of how vulnerable and scared
Yes.
that she was.
Yes.
And I like now that in the dream, she's kind of a badass.
She is, and I love that. Like, I was like, that is a different Helen than we had in the original movie.
Yeah.
And like, I think like what was so smart about writing it like that is like, we remember Helen as the character from the first movie. Like, these characters throughout this series remember Helen as a certain character.
Yeah.
So when Danica's having this dream and she's confronted by Helen and Helen's talking to her, it's like, this is a different Helen that we've never seen before. And I thought it was great.
And somehow they made it work, because I felt like even though she was a different Helen, like the things she was saying to what was her name, Annika or Danica?
Danica, yeah.
Danica. Yeah, when she looked at her and said, "You're really pretty," and she's like, "I was a Croaker Queen myself." She was still kind of Helen, because Helen
Yeah.
at the beginning of the first movie, you could tell that because she got a lot of attention, she probably had a big head, and
Yep.
she was, kind of like, "Oh, I'm pretty great," and that was how she was kind of portraying it, almost like,
Mhm.
"Well, I'm the old school dead Croaker Queen, and now you're
Yep.
this young thing. You think you're better than me?"
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. I will say that's probably the scene that stole the show for me in this movie. Like, that was the scene that stood out of every scene in this movie,
I agree.
was seeing her on screen, because my mouth dropped. Like, I was like, I can't believe she's in this. And she was so good about not spoiling anything about her appearance in this. Like,
I
played
know.
it off so well. And that's why Sarah Michelle Gellar is just so smart. Like, she just like you said, like the movie came out, everybody's talking about it. She's like, well, I technically never said I wasn't in this movie. I just said I was dead. I
Yeah.
was like, wow.
And
Uh,
I was also thinking too, I'm like, they probably told her after she made that little error with taking the picture, and they probably said, you cannot say anything else. Don't even take another picture. Like, just keep it all under wraps as much as possible.
and now her Instagram is just like blowing up with all this I Know We Did Last Summer stuff. Like, it's just so great. Like, so seeing her back, I think that was I think it was every gay person's like dream to have Sarah Michelle Gellar
Yes.
have Helen back in this series, but also people that just rooted for Helen and rooted for Sarah Michelle Gellar. So to have her back in this, it made a lot of people happy. It made me happy. So
She had her moment to shine, I think.
she did, and she stole the show. Like, she was amazing. So I want to mention real quick, because there's a scene in the original movie that I still think is probably the most scariest scene, and it's the scene that she wakes up the very next morning when her hair is chopped off,
Hmm.
and it's the moment where she looks in the mirror, or she looks at the mirror, and it says "soon." Like, that is still one of the most suspenseful scenes in any of the movies. Like, I just think that scene is so creepy. Like,
It really is. And
oh,
because and what's creepy about it is it's the same thing that with what happened with Barry when he got ran over. the
Yeah.
killer is just, I mean, he was in her closet the night before
Yes.
just watching her. And
Yes.
to think that that's the same person who watched her all night, cut her hair off, but didn't kill her. And then within the next probably 15, 20 minutes, he's slashing her to death in an alleyway.
Yeah. I
I
know.
mean,
Cat and mouse type of thing. It's a cat and mouse type of thing. So, yeah, I mean, that's what makes that movie work so well. Like the suspense is just so good. And the buildup of the characters is so good. So, love that.
even really quick, even whenever Julie opens up the trunk and finds Max's body with the crabs,
Yes.
like that was such a moment because I'll never forget. I almost laughed because it's just so creepy when she's driving and she hears that scrambling in the back of the trunk, and
Mhm.
she just keeps turning around like what the hell's going on. And even when this was a good moment for Jennifer Love Hewitt because when she gets out of the car, she like shuts the door and she just is keeping her distance from the truck because or the trunk because she knows something's going on. But just the way she plays it, I'm just like, oh, the suspense just kills you.
Oh, and then you got that line with Bear or when Ray comes up, "I got a letter." "Oh, you got a letter?" "I got run over." Helen gets her hair chopped off. Julie gets a body in the trunk, and you get a letter? That's balance. Like,
Barry's just coming ready for blood.
gosh, yes. So I see more people are coming in. By the way, thank you all so much for watching and commenting. Gory Tiger, what is up? Hopefully, I'm saying that right. How are you?
What's
So
up?
letting so letting everybody know, we are now we're wrapping this soon, but we're now in that portion of where we're talking about spoilers. So if you've not seen the movie, go and watch the first 90 minutes of this stream. Once you get past the 90-minute mark, that's when we're talking about some spoilers. Not the whole thing, but there's definitely some surprise um, moments in this that we definitely had to talk about. So, and then lastly, I guess like the last thing to talk about as far as like a surprise goes, and I know it's divided people, um, but for me, I think it works. And I'll tell you why I think it works. And you could talk about it too, is the fact that like, you know, you're the reveal of these killers happen. So one of the killers is Vicky. And Vicky, like I mentioned,
Stevie?
Stevie, sorry,
Steve. No,
Stevie.
you're good.
Stevie was like the character in the beginning of the movie that like kind of distanced herself from her friends.
Yeah.
Then this accident happened. 1 year later, she's like buddy buddy with Danica. Um, and you're just kind of like, okay, like yeah, like she's just they reconnected. And then you get to this twist that like she's one of the killers. And they did a great job with it. I will say this cuz you
Yeah.
think about it at first, well, you think, well, maybe she could be, and then they're so good at with this writing that you don't think about it for a while, and then it's revealed that she's one of the killers. Um, what do you think of Danica as a killer? I mean, did you? Or not Danica. Sorry, I keep getting the characters mixed
No,
up.
you're right.
Stevie,
Stevie.
Stevie, Stevie.
Um, that one, I was kind of going back and forth on because I did suspect her because, like you said, she was the one for it. This was kind of a weird reason, but one of the reasons why she stood out to me was because in the original movie there was four. There was two
Uh-huh.
guys and two girls, and in this one there was more. There was five, and I thought, well, maybe they're just adding, an extra character. But she was kind of like the last minute one that they brought on the trip, and
Uh-huh.
there was already a little bit of animosity between her and some of the characters, and I just thought, there's something to that. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I kind of suspected it a little bit.
Yeah,
I definitely did not expect the second killer.
I did not either. There was only one moment that kind of got me, and it could have been any scenario where the podcaster dies and she takes off the mask, which by the way was a pretty eerie moment, and she says it's you, and you're like, who is she talking about? Like you're just kind of curious, like
Right.
who could it be? So it played off so well. Again, if you're tuning in right now, we are talking spoilers now. So if you haven't seen it, definitely leave and then come back later. Go watch the first 90 minutes of this and then stop it, watch the movie, then come back and watch the rest. But then you find out that Ray is a killer in this movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, the director and Freddie Prinze Jr. said in interviews, they said this ending will piss some people off. Like, it's not going to be for everybody. Like, I don't know if you saw, like, they did an interview where the person interviewing them was like, "Oh, I watched this movie and the ending got me and I loved it." And they said, "Well, some people will love it and some people will not." Like, it's going to be an ending that they somebody described this perfectly recently. Like, I love the new Scream movies. I think they're great. But like this movie, as far as like a reveal of a killer goes and a story arc of a killer, this movie didn't hold back. Like, this movie was like, we're going to take a chance and it's going to divide audience members, but we're going to go for it.
I think it
And
was as divisive as killing Dewey off in Scream 5.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
So I absolutely agree. I think it's very divisive. I think it's also, you look back at Scream 2 and you look at how Randy died. And
Yeah.
that, oh man, that still gets me today. But that's another moment where you take a character that you've known for several movies. In this case, Ray, for almost 30 years. We know Freddie Prinze Jr. We know him as an actor from all sorts of other movies. But this
Yeah.
certain character, you get to that moment where he is revealed as one of the killers and it just shocks you. It
Yeah.
shocks you.
And I think one thing when I first saw it, the first time I watched the movie and it happened, I really didn't think I liked what they did at first. But
Mhm.
then upon thinking about it and then watching some interviews with Freddie and Jennifer Love Hewitt, I understood exactly what they were trying to do. And I love what they did because essentially what they're trying to say is that Julie and Ray went through this horrible experience when they were younger, and trauma, as Julie says when she's teaching her psychology class, she's saying trauma can change the brain.
Mhm.
And it's interesting to show, and they really haven't done this in a slasher film before, particularly one where it's a legacy character, somebody that you already know and has been established, showing
Absolutely.
just how different they could go. Because Julie, she dealt with her trauma a certain way and it
Mhm.
affected her, but she dealt with it differently. Whereas Ray, he let it consume him to the point where it drove him mad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like the movie is so good at like, even if like I was shocked, you were shocked, but like you look back on the movie and you think of moments throughout the film. One, Ray was pretty much taking care of Stevie and her brother, which by the way, like in the movie, like the character that falls off the cliff, you don't really get to know the character, but it's found out that it's Stevie's brother.
Yeah.
Um and like Ray was their guardian after their dad died. So that, between everything that he had inside himself, like all this tension and anger, like right when the brother died and they needed to get revenge, like he just finally snapped. Like it was that moment where he was like, okay, I've snapped. Um, but also like the fact that, like, he's talking in the town hall about how the town's just wanting to erase what happened to them. Like he wants people to know, like, no, like we matter. Like, this happened to this happened to me, this happened to Julie, Helen, Barry. Like it can't just go away. You can't,
Right.
just act like it never existed. Um,
And that's what
yeah.
I still love about those original characters is I feel like that more than anything, it really showed how messed up it made all of them in their own way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And like you said too, like the movie, I mean, when it comes to trauma, people deal with it differently.
Yeah.
Some people deal with it in the wrong way, like Ray did, but he just snapped. And then you have Julie who took a different path. Um, and it still affects her, but like she became a teacher. She talks about trauma. Um, she still, she wants to remember her friends. We talked about the scene where um, she is in the house with our main character, and there's a picture of Helen and Barry in Helen's house. Like she still wants to remember her friends, but
And go
yeah,
ahead.
no, but she changed her trauma and turned it around.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, that scene where she's sitting at home, it's right before Ray shows up and she's drinking a glass of wine and she has that flashback to Helen's body and then her opening the
Yes,
trunk. I like moments like that just
me
because I
too.
think that it gives maybe people who didn't see the original and they're coming into it fresh. It seems like that if I was a newcomer, I would be like, I've got to go back and watch that original movie because I want to see the full story.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And I love moments like that too. Like I love flashback scenes. I think
Yeah.
they're great. It's amazing. Another movie I can think of is Carrie to the Rage. Have you seen that? Carrie
Oh
2?
my gosh. You picked like one of the best ones as far as
I
doing
know.
flashbacks. Like
Yes, I
they did some of the
forgot.
best flashbacks I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, and Carrie too when they're at the old school and it's burned down and Sue Snell's talking to Rachel about Carrie White and she's like, I was there that night. And you see like the great flashback of Sissy Spacek, Carrie walking like across the gymnasium when it's burning down. Like, oh, what a
And
great movie.
also just a different time in era too, because you're seeing a flashback to a 70s movie and
Yes.
and everybody
Yes.
looks very 70s, so it's definitely very timely, and then it flashes back and you're in present, which at that time was the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's kind of like this, but 20, almost 30 years later, we get I Know We Did Last Summer. Almost 30 years later. Well, yeah, almost. Like, yeah, it was like Carrie 2 came out. So it's
Don't
pretty
you
cool.
hope don't you hope that in Scream 7 that there's a lot of flashbacks? Like, because it's going to be dealing with Sydney a lot. And so
It's
I
her
hope she
story.
has a lot of flashbacks.
It is her story. Like, they've already said that this is Sydney's story. So I hope there's some flashbacks. We need some. I think a flashback scene is great. Absolutely.
I agree.
Um, But yeah, so and then like with Ray's kind of like reveal, you look back, like you said, Julie and Ray have now split. They're divorced. They obviously are not fond of each other. Like he has anger towards her. And she like there's a reason why they split because she dealt with trauma in her way, but she was seeing a different path with him
Yeah.
and she couldn't be there. Like she couldn't take it. Um,
And their confrontation at the end, we talked earlier about the "what are you waiting for" line.
it works so.
And oh my gosh, because she said it, you can see it in Jennifer Love Hewitt's eyes. She says it because she's lived and she's been through it. And it's a different kind of "what are you
Yep,
waiting for."
yep. It's a different kind of what are you waiting for? And she's confronting the person that she once loved. Like, and
Hmm.
that's a sad thing too, because if you think about it, like this was your high school sweetheart. This was the person that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with.
Hmm.
And then you get to a moment where you're face to face with this person who is not the person that you fell in love with and is now a killer and is a totally different person.
And
Um,
I think it works. That moment works so well is
yes,
because in Julie's eyes, she also thinks she's about to die.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm glad she survived. Like Julie
Me
James
too.
did not need to die. Um, so anyway, so I know people are split on it, but like you said, like you walked out of the movie, you had to think about it. It and I loved it right away because I thought it was such a great idea. But the more I thought about it, the more it made more sense too.
Hmm.
Why it was an ending that worked. They weren't just throwing this in there to shock people, like just kind of throw an ending. Like, no, it made sense. Like you go back and you watch the movie, you think about moments throughout the movie, and then you think about the character Ray throughout the franchise. Like Ray was a different character, like full circle moment. In the first movie, you think he's a red herring character. He could be the killer. And then 30 years later, he's now one of the killers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very,
But
very good twist either way. Even if you liked it or you disliked it, I mean, I think everybody can agree that it was a shocking twist.
it was a shocking twist. You're taking a legacy character that people followed 30 plus years later. I mean, these are movies that we all rewatched over and over and over again. Like for me, every July I watch I Know We Did Last Summer. I Still Know We Did Last Summer. Like these are movies I love to watch. So I've
Mhm.
followed these characters ever since the first one came out. So to get to that twist ending where he is one of the killers, was such a great twist. Whether you love it or not, it was a great ending. Like, people are going to talk about it.
Yeah, I agree. Did you hear that Scary Movie 6, the director of the new I Know What You Did Last Summer said in an interview, she said if there was anything that I would love more or that I wouldn't love more, she says, is if the new Scary Movie 6 ragged on our new film for their new film. She
Oh,
said
I
that would
would
be
love
like
that.
such a full circle moment for her.
And kudos to her, because she's just having fun with it. She's like, I know people are going to either love or hate it. She's like, but we went there. We weren't holding back. And I think that's a lot of some people's complaints about the newer Scream movies. While I love them and I'm a fan of it, like, and when Dewey died, it didn't hold back. But as far as like a killer reveal goes, like, I Know We Did Last Summer took some punches. They were like, we're gonna gut punch people with this. Like,
Right.
this is not gonna be like you're, a new character as a killer. Like, you're gonna know one of these characters and you're gonna have split opinions on it. And they did a great job with it. So,
Yeah, they did.
and then the last thing that we got to talk about
We have
is,
to.
let's talk about it. The our like mid credit scene during the end credit during the ending credits, you have a mid scene.
It was brilliant.
It was brilliant. It was so brilliant, because if you love a character like Carla and you've been rooting for her to come back in this franchise, and people have I mean, this is the great thing. I'm sure you agree with me with this, Todd. Like, when this movie got announced, the question that a lot of people had was, is Carla going to be in it? Is Brandy coming back?
Yes.
Brandy even talked about it at one point. She was like, yeah, I would love to come back if they invited me back. Like, that's amazing how much of an impact a character has had on people and an actor has had on people, is when people are asking, like, is Carla going to be in this? Is Brandy returning?
And it's kind of cool because, the fact that, Brandy's the kind of celebrity that you might think, because of like music and she's a little bit older now, that she might not want to go back to something like in the 90s that she did. But you can tell just from the moment she was on screen, like she loves playing Carla.
She loves it. I mean, I loved it. It was great. I love her when she's watching the news and she finds out about Ray and finds out about a Julie.
Right?
Hey, Ray, this girl can't get a break. Like, I was like,
She's like, people are always trying to kill this woman.
I thought it was great. And then you get the ending where she gets the knock on the door and it's Julie.
Am I crazy, or did you think for a split second Julie was going to kill her? I don't know why.
I didn't think she was gonna kill her. Okay, AJ. So AJ, I'm letting you know right now, we're kind of in spoiler territory. I don't know if it was you that hasn't seen it, but we're kind of in that spoiler moment right now. It's probably been like we started at like the 90-minute mark. So if you don't want to know about spoilers, please leave, bud, because I don't want the surprises in this movie are legit great surprises. So
Yeah,
just
they
letting you
are.
know, bud. Just letting you know. I didn't think she was gonna kill her, but I thought, ooh, like, ooh, something's gonna happen. And then she hands her the picture,
Yeah.
and Carla's face is marked out. And the moment that just cracks me up. Who are we gonna fuck up this time?
I know. And that was so Carla. I mean, like, that was exactly what I imagine Carla would say if she was in that situation again.
Oh my gosh, I was rolling. Okay, AJ. So I just want everybody to know, I don't, like, we needed to talk about this stuff, but I wanted to save it for like the last, bit of this live stream that we're doing, because I'm telling you all one thing. If you've not seen this movie yet, the surprises are so good. Like, even Todd can agree. Like, I can't remember the last time where not only I got one surprise, but I got three surprises. and they were like big surprises. Like they were just so good that you're talking about it, that you're going to remember it.
They
You
were
know
the
what I
kind of
mean?
yeah, they were the kind of surprises that need to happen in legacy sequels.
Agreed. Like you know, I don't want to say that like Scream 5 and Scream 6 played it safe with the endings, but like you know, those endings, like you were introduced to new characters that wound up being the killers.
Right.
And sometimes the writing works, sometimes it didn't. And like sometimes you can look at one of the killers and be like, oh, well, that's a killer, like straight up. But with this movie and this, thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I thank you for watching the whole
Oh, that's
time. And
really nice of him. Thank
thank
you.
you so much, Tony. We will definitely be back. So, but where was I going? Yeah. I just think that like you said, a legacy sequel, you know, sometimes you can't play it safe and you just have to shock people and you have to surprise people to make the movie work and to have people talk about it. Whether you love or hate it, whether you love or hate some of these surprises, people are
Well,
talking about it.
one of the last things I will say on it is I do feel like that this franchise is, if, above all else, whether the critics like it or whoever does, I don't think that. I think that I Know What You Did Last Summer is probably just one of the most fun horror
Mhm.
franchises that exist.
Exactly. Like wrapping this up, like you said, it is one of the most fun franchises I've ever watched. Like these are my go-to horror movies. Like I go to these movies a lot. I don't get tired of them. Like I know exactly, and I'm sure you can agree with me. I know exactly what is going to happen in these movies when you watch them over and over, but it still has an impact on you. Like these movies have an impact, whether it's characters in the movie or the kills in the movie or the writing. Like for me, the big standout will always be the writing, and it will be the characters. It'll be Helen's chase scene in I Know We Did Last Summer, or the great character that Carla is in I Still. Or for example, in this movie with the reveal of Ray being a killer, like these are moments that you're going to remember
Yeah.
and you're going to have a blast watching these movies. So they're so much fun.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely given me a nice little treat while I'm waiting for Scream 7. And one last thing, aren't you so happy that Kevin Williamson is directing Scream 7?
Yes, I was going to talk about that during our stream, and we were talking about Kevin. And I'm so happy that he's directing this movie, and it's been too long.
I agree.
I mean, he's deserved this for so long. I can't believe it's taken this long for him to finally be able to direct one of these movies, because he's deserved it for a very, very long time.
I mean, this is his baby, and the fact that he gets to step into what Wes Craven did, and he worked hand in hand with Wes Craven on the original ones, I think that it couldn't be in better hands.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I mean, when it comes from Scream to I Know We Did Last Summer to smaller movies like Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which underrated movie. I
The
love
Faculty.
The Faculty. And then I've never seen the show, but Vampire Diaries. Like he has been around, like, and he's still working today. And I just adore Kevin Williamson. Oh, Halloween H2O. How could I
And
forget
he did Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek? Like, I mean, he's just a great writer, but also he knows how to write young adults. He knows how to write the dialogue between these characters. Like he is so good at it. And
Yeah,
I just you what?
because don't you feel like when you watch I Know What You Did Last Summer or Scream, and you know that it's been written by him? For me, the characters aren't, they act more like mature teenagers and not annoying teenagers, if that makes sense. Like
Yes.
he's got
Yes.
a way about writing them, and I know, like Barry, he was a jerk, and there was characters that had their little annoying quirks, but he still wrote them in a way that you really felt like they were people you knew.
Exactly. Same. I agree with that. Like you knew
Yeah.
these characters. You knew these people. Like there were people that we went to high school with, possibly, that were like some of these characters. Or, you talked about Sidney Prescott earlier, and how Kevin Williamson, you see a lot of Kevin Williamson and Sidney Prescott. Like, it's a character that has a beginning that rises, and they
Yeah.
become these strong characters. The Following, I've never seen The Following. What's up, Chris? How are you?
Oh,
So,
if you've
never.
never, you have to watch that, Justin. You would love it.
I will have to check that out.
It's
Um,
about serial killers, and there's only 3 seasons, but it's totally worth your time.
nice. I will have to watch that for sure. Um, but like we talked about earlier, and it moved me a lot, is Sidney Prescott is a character that, from the beginning of the film, or beginning of the first movie, up until what we're going to see in Scream 7, she became this strong character. She's been through a lot. Kevin Williamson has been through a lot in his life. Being a gay man, like, he's had to, not like only in his personal life, but also in this business, like, he has for decades had to prove himself as a openly gay writer and director, to say, hey, I'm here, I can do this, and he has proven it. And
Yep.
now he's getting Scream 7. And for you and me, we're people that, like, we grew up and we had to deal with, bullying and harassment, and um we just had the struggles as gay men, to now, years later, say, look, we fought through that. We fought through being picked on and being called names and having to go through that harassment and that torment, and now we are the people that we are today. We're strong
And
people.
we're strong people, and we enjoy horror movies, and we enjoy our community, and it's I can't wait to collaborate more with you on this stuff. Like, it's going to
I'm
be so
so
much fun.
excited. I'm so excited. So, let's see. Greetings from the UK. Well, hello. How are you? Savvy 1984. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Um, but uh I hope you all enjoyed this. I had a blast.
I did
Todd,
too.
thank you so much. I'm so happy you did. But thank you for being a part of this, and I look forward to doing more of this with you. And we'll talk about, like, if we want to do like one a month, or if we want to do like every 2 weeks. But I hope you want to continue on this journey with me, because I love talking with you, and it has been such a blast tonight to do this first episode with you. So thank you, my friend, for being a part of this with me.
Thank you as well. And like I said, I'll be here as long as you want to use me, and I will
I want to.
contribute. Yes, wherever you see fit.
I love it. Well, we'll talk about it afterwards. Would you want to do like a monthly show, or how would you want to do this?
I'm good with that. I'm usually available. It would probably depend. Of course, it might be a different timing depending. Like, do you do them every Saturday, or would you fluctuate a little bit?
I'd fluctuate. So, well, maybe like we could do like if we do one once a month, we can find a Saturday that works best
Yeah,
for both of us. How do you feel about that?
I think once a month would be great because then we could really put the time into prepping. And if there was a certain movie or franchise, we might even want to do a 3-hour video. You never know.
I love it. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this was so much fun. This 2 hours went by so quick, like,
It really
so
did.
quick. And like, just talking with you in general, like, when we started talking again, like, it's been almost 10 years since our 10-year reunion. Like, we reconnected with that 10-year reunion. It's been like years now that we've got to talk with each other. And when I talk to you on the phone, like video chat or on the phone, it's always such a joy. And we can talk for hours and hours. Like, that's the great thing. So,
I know we've talked about stuff like what we're talking about right now, just privately, just for
yeah.
hours before. So it's great.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, anyway, everybody, thank you so much for joining the first
Yes.
episode of Scream Gay Horror. And
Yay.
like I said, this is going to be a place of love. It's going to be a place of equality, happiness, supporting one another, whether you're in the community or not, but also the horror movie community, because we're here for each other. Again, gay, straight, trans, whoever you may be, however you might identify, we're here for each other. We're an awesome horror movie community. And we got each other's back, and we love talking about horror movies. So that's the plus. That's the big plus there. So
Yep.
anyway, Todd, any last words, buddy, before we end this episode?
Just that this was a wonderful experience, and I can't wait to collaborate more.
Me too, bud. And we'll talk about our next episode for the future. So, and everybody, thank you so much for joining. And we will see you next time, next month, for another episode of Scream Gay Horror. So, anyway, much love to you all, and talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's see. It's going to be live for like another